All righty. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Greetings, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Kristle Shanell Show. I am super excited today. I have one of my dear friends and classmates on the air with me today, and her name is Kristle Richardson. Say hello to the listening audience, Kristle.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you guys doing this morning?
Awesome. Even though they can't talk back to us, right? But we're hoping that they are doing absolutely wonderful on today. And what I'm going to do, just give me a minute because I want to take away the noise that I'm hearing in my background here because I want to make sure they're able to hear you clearly. Can you hear me clearly this morning?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. I can hear you even much better now. So that's great. So we're going to get right into it. Again, welcome you guys. Thank you for joining the Kristle Shanell Show. I have my special guest in the studio with me today, Kristle Richardson, and she is a breast cancer survivor. I am going to let Kristle share her story and her testimony with you. Although October, we celebrate breast cancer awareness, as well as domestic violence awareness, as well as mental health awareness, right? And I know today is November the 1st. But that does not mean that we cannot make mention of breast cancer in November. That's an everyday topic that needs to be talked about. Breast cancer, domestic violence, as well as mental health, and all the other different diseases and different things that people are dealing with on a daily basis. So, Kristle, if you'll take this time to go ahead and share with the listening audience about your story, tell us a little bit about who you are, and then, of course, go into sharing your story and your testimony on what you've experienced with breast cancer.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I am Kristle Richardson. I am I reside in Cross, South Carolina for over 20 years. I have 3 kids, 18, 9, and 7, Antonio, Ariel, and William. I am a child of God. I just want all of you to know that. And I'm on this journey right now with breast cancer as a survivor. So I have been a breast cancer survivor for 5 years now. And by the grace of God, I am still here. At the beginning of it, I was 39 years old during that time in 2020. I turned 40 that April, but I found out at the age of 39 in 2024. 2019, excuse me, you guys. 2019, I was 39 and 40. I had to do a biopsy. And once I did that biopsy, it came back saying, that it was ductal carcinoma. I went through all the steps of getting my results. So it was fear to me. It's fear. A lot of people think about it as death, but it don't have to be death. All you have to do is just listen to your doctors and do what they ask you to do, and from there on they have you. I started at MUSC, Holland's Cancer Center, under the Dr. Demore. She did my surgery. They were saying that I didn't have to have a mastectomy at first, but when it came along, I had to have the mastectomy because the breast cancer wasn't, it wasn't invasive. So I did the mastectomy, and I that journey started after I did that mastectomy in October 9th, 2020. The struggle was real. I didn't even know what to do. I was scared. I had my support system with me, my family, friends, and they were behind me. But the most thing I can say about it, having breast cancer, you can't go into it with having that fear. You can't have that doubt.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make sure that, you keep it positive. Main thing is positivity. And if you go in there negative, you get negative results.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I am happy that I have family members who went with me during that surgery time. Um, it was a struggle just laying there with all these tubes inside of me. And I'm like, God, what am I supposed to do? Like, I have one breast. These people took my breast. I got angry. I was really angry at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Really angry. I want to blame everybody, but it wasn't everybody. They
Mm-hmm.
didn't do that. So, by the grace of God, I started asking questions about it. Like, what are the things can I do to not get breast cancer? You know,
Right.
those are the questions. What can I not do to prevent it? So at that point of going through all the MRIs, biopsy, I had two biopsy to make sure because I second guessed it. I sure did. I wanted to know.
Of course. Of
You know?
course.
I really wanted to know.
And
So
you had that right. So absolutely. I'm glad you did get a second opinion.
I did. I
Mhm.
did. I did. At that time I just didn't know, whatever felt right, I just went with it,
Right.
you know. So at that point, of doing that, I'm thinking about kids. I have kids, you know, who gonna do this, who gonna do that? That's all the fear and doubts,
Yes. Yes.
I had inside. But during the ductal carcinoma cancer in my breast, which is the nipples,
Mm-hmm.
I had it in my nipple. So, it didn't it was painful. I did my breast examination and I was hurting and I didn't know what to do. So my first thought was with the OBGYN.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first stop. And that's how I got started with Holland's Cancer Center, West Ashley, back to Trident, back. I went through so many things just to trying to figure out what is this thing? What
Mm-hmm.
is it? What is it?
So let me ask you, because what I'm hearing is you're saying that you were pretty much doing your monthly examination with your breasts, and that's how you discovered that there's something was wrong. Is that correct?
No, it was that it was just one night I started hurting. And
Okay.
then next morning I had a doctor's appointment to my OBGYN.
Okay.
So that's
And
how it started.
that's when you started. That's good. A lot of times, they tell us to self-check our breasts on a monthly basis, but let's just raise our hand and be honest. For I don't think there's probably a whole lot of people that's probably doing that on a monthly basis, honestly speaking. And I'm just going to be honest, even myself, my mother is a breast cancer survivor, and I make sure I keep up with my yearly appointments, but I have to definitely do better in that area with doing that self check on a monthly basis, because we get so busy. But at the end of the day, we have to realize that our lives are in our hands, so we have to do the work. Not to say we want to. We're not wishing for anything bad to happen, but early detection is the best detection, right?
Yes.
And we always speak that that early detection is definitely the best detection. So we want to just encourage you guys, and I'm encouraging myself as well, as Crescenda was stating. Let's just come in agreement and take time to really do our self breast check on a monthly basis. And that goes for the men as well, because a lot of times people don't realize that men can get breast cancer. And yes, they can get breast cancer anytime you have a breast. You know what I mean? You have some men that have, a flat chest, and at the end of the day, you have some men that have men boobs. So at the end of the day, yes, you definitely can get breast cancer as a man. So we have to make sure that we're doing those self examinations each month. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you continue, Kristle.
Okay. And then, I wasn't even 44 yet. 2025, April 3rd was my birthday. I had another appointment, but it wasn't to the OBGYN. It was a regular checkup, getting my uh mammogram. I got a mammogram this time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when mammogram they found a spot there, which was a lump. So I wasn't feeling any pain. No pain at all. It was just a basic checkup. I went in there happy, congratulating myself, like, okay, this is another one. We got this. We got this. So I did that. Then that next week, they were like, Miss Richardson, we have to do a biopsy, another biopsy. So once I did the biopsy, with all the that needle hurts. I'm not gonna lie, the needle hurt. And like I said, no fear, no fear, no fear. I didn't, that day was just a regular day also. So I didn't, it blew over my head. I didn't think nothing of it because, I'm like, you know what, they want a biopsy. Okay, let's see what this is. So once I did that biopsy, that came back as the same as my right breast as ductal carcinoma. It was in the nipple.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, the nipple was already black. I didn't pay any attention, but on the outside it was black. My nipple was black. No, no, I didn't feel no pain, but all I know that my breast was getting denser and denser and denser, meaning that you have the upper chest up here that just flat and the breast is actually hanging. So I went through that and they were like, well, we can do chemo, we can do radiation or whatever. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know why I said it. I was like, I don't think so. I don't think I need to go through that because at the same time I already spoke to God. I was like, listen, whatever it is, please, put in my mind what you want me to do. I'm trying to survive here. They
Mm-hmm.
telling me, it's the same thing. So, I went through it. So when I did it, you know, I had a little teeny tiny fear, but the joy overcame it. So once I did the biopsy, that next week I started going back to MUSC, Holland's Cancer Center, every week, trying to figure out, what is what, no pain or whatever. And they like, you have no pain, Miss Richardson, no pain, no pain at all. So um I decided, go ahead, do the mastectomy. Do
Mm-hmm.
that mastectomy. And let me tell you guys, my right breast was a swift. It was a swift. But this left breast, it was totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different. I don't know, insecurity with it. I felt like, oh God, I won't have nothing. Like, what are you doing to me? So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? She was like, okay, Miss Richardson, I need you to be calm about this. You're not by yourself. So, I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking, okay, I'm all alone. I'm alone in this because I don't have, any breasts. So, I said, okay, um, let's do the mastectomy. I did the mastectomy. The tubes hurt. The pain, it was different. It was like reverse. The pain started coming after I got the mastectomy. Like it just started coming. And I didn't know what to do. So, the best bet, I call on the name of Jesus.
That's
And
it.
from then on until now, I lean on my God, you know,
That's it. That's
you
it.
know, he bought me out twice,
Twice.
twice,
Mm.
2 different year, 2 different year. And, my heart goes out to all the survivors. Everybody have different, feelings about breast cancer. Everybody don't go through the same as you do. You may think it, but no, everybody, they don't. Some people breast cancer is more aggressive than others. Like my breast cancer, I caught it early. You know,
That's
early detection does save lives. What
yeah,
if I just sat there and just waited, and, being funny and just not paying attention to my body, which
yeah.
I know it's not me, but a lot of females don't pay attention to their body. And I would like for everyone to know, please, ladies, men, pay attention to your body. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you
That's
what's
it.
hurting. It probably don't tell you right then and there, but sooner or later it will tell you. But mine's, I didn't have no pain until after the mastectomy.
Mm,
After the mastectomy, let me tell you, hard. That was a hard pill if I swallow
mm,
on this time around. It was real hard.
mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't know who to go to. I started speaking to other people. A lot of people was DMing me in my Facebook, TikTok, and that's how I started finding out, And also through Dr. Kristle Shanell, I started finding out it's more like me.
That's it.
It's more like me out there.
That's
So at the same time, I started going to Alayla, for the fitting of the prosthetic breasts and bras and things like that. And I just felt like, this wearing me down. This
mm-hmm.
breast is wearing me down. I can't do this. I cannot wear this. I'm not comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And one thing about having breast cancer, if you know who you are, where you came from, you will embrace it. You will embrace yourself.
Yeah.
I cleared a lot of things will make you embrace yourself. I had to embrace myself. I started loving myself more, even though the mental situation that came along with it.
Of course.
The fatigue came along with it. Some
Yes.
days you
Yes.
don't want
Yes.
to eat. Some days you don't want to be around anybody
That's it. That's it.
until you have to get comfortable at first before you present yourself.
That's
You have
it.
to be comfortable within yourself to actually present yourself out there to the world. And I have been really advocating about breast cancer. I am breast cancer every
Mm-hmm.
day, every
Mm-hmm.
night, morning, noon, wherever I go, I'm announcing it because a lot of people, they don't cherish this thing called LIFE,
That's
life.
it. That's it.
So I just want everybody to know that please get your mammogram. Men, get your mammogram. It's a lot of cancer that's going around. It's not only breast cancer, like Kristle Shanell said. It's a lot out there. You
It
just
is.
have to be. You're not going to be mentally prepared, but when it flash in front of you, hello, you got it. It will prepare you. You
That's
don't
it.
know what the outcome is, but you have to be prepared.
That's it. And that's very powerful. And I would definitely relate with you when you said talking about the fatigue. My goodness. Although I am not going through breast cancer again, like I said, my mother is a breast cancer survivor. We went through that with her in 2016. But I am currently going through multiple myeloma, which is a blood and bone cancer. And yesterday was one of those days that I was extremely, extremely, extremely fatigued. I'm telling you, I was in the bed all day long. Like I know I've been sleeping for 24 hours, literally. I kept, I got up a few times, came downstairs to, get something to drink so I can take my medicine. And I normally always keep a gallon of water by my bed, but I went and got my alkaline water, but forgot to take them upstairs. So I had to come downstairs and get my water so I can take my medicine. And then I always try to keep like some bread in the house because sometimes I don't want to eat regular food. So I'll have the bread or what do you call it? Those little Hawaiian rolls,
Mhm.
something I can just eat, to make sure my stomach is coated with the medicine. Because of course I was having stomach issues, of course, yesterday with what I had going on, the fatigue, the stomach issues. I was drinking ginger tea, and people don't realize as well that ginger tea is a lifesaver. Helping to soothe the stomach while we're going through what we're going through. It's just amazing. I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and I was telling him, he was like, wow, it's just how it's amazing how they give you medicine to solve one problem, but then at the end of the day, it gives you another problem. And I said, yes, unfortunately,
Mhm.
that's the way that it goes. You may be
Mhm.
solving one issue now, but then unfortunately, it can give you several other issues while you're solving that one issue. Um, like my doctor stated, hey, it's a possibility the medication that you're taking could give you another type of cancer. I'm like, the devil is a liar. Like who wants to take medication knowing that, okay, it could possibly give me another type of cancer in the future? But we have to trust God. We have to trust the process and let God be God, just as simple as that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
But go ahead. So I'll let you go ahead and finish.
And during this time right here, like I said, like with the fatigue, I didn't want to eat. Um, Started getting angry, depressed. Uh, I also just isolated myself, like isolated myself. I didn't know what to do. I just felt like I started feeling sorry for myself. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
And
I still
self-pity.
yeah started feeling sorry for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I just know this is not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, what can I do to fight this? What
Mm-hmm.
can I do? So something said, spread the word. I started spreading the word, and it made me feel
Better.
more better. It
Mm-hmm.
made me feel better about everything because I'm not by myself. I'm not alone.
That's
I'm
it.
not alone in this. Uh, a lot of times people don't understand, sickness,
Mm-hmm.
breast, cancer. Like I said, it's a lot of different type of cancer out there, but the main cancer right now is that breast cancer. It's
Mm-hmm.
like almost 25,000. The numbers went up from last year to this year.
Mm-hmm.
25, 30,000 females have
Okay.
developed breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, I looked at the numbers of men with breast cancer, and it's not that many. It's not that many. It's not even close to 1,000 men. It's not even close. But um, I started doing that. I started speaking to different churches about breast cancer and things like that. And even when I go to the store, if I have a word about it and I see a female, I'm like, hey, I would like for you to do something for me, support breast cancer. And then they start telling me their story. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm excited, about it because I don't know, I may sound wrong and I may sound a little confusing, but I would say cancer saved me.
Mm-hmm.
But most of all, I had that backup. God was there with me, but it saved me. It sat me down. It made me realize who I am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And as of today, I couldn't even talk about it. Right now, I would have been breaking down, crying, but I've gotten stronger.
Yeah.
I got real strong because I would have been cry baby, like I don't believe I'm doing it. I don't believe I'm going through this. But I realized I'm not by myself. I'm not by myself, and I give it all to God, and He applies every part of everything to me. He applies it.
And
There are also things that can also help you. Taking vitamins, pushing your vitamins. Like I was on that tamoxifen for 4.5 years,
mm-hmm.
and until it started mentally messing with my mind.
Mm.
Um, I had to ask the doctor, like, is it supposed to do that? And she said, you know, due time as you taking it, yes, it messes with your mind. And
Mm-hmm.
I told her, well, I don't need that
Thank
no
you.
more. I can't take that no more. I said,
Mm-hmm.
because with the mood swings, That's the number. That mood swing is crazy because one minute you're happy, next minute you're crying, next minute you're mad, next minute you're screaming. You know, I felt like that pill was really trying to take me under. You know, what other sources could I take? And you know, I had to go back to my vitamin D,
Yeah.
B12. No, I couldn't take magnesium
Mm-hmm.
with the tamoxifen. I had to wait 6 months before the tamoxifen really get out my system, which I don't think that is out my system because there are certain things that you cannot eat with tamoxifen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a lot of sweets, grapefruit,
Mm-hmm.
and taking basically magnesium
Mm-hmm.
was the
What was
main thing.
what was the reason that they didn't want you to take the magnesium?
The side effects
Okay.
that affect different people. It messes with your mind, suicidal and things like that.
From the
And
magnesium or from the wow,
from from the tamoxifen.
tamoxifen. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Very,
Yeah.
very powerful. Very, very powerful. And thank
Yeah.
you for sharing. We definitely have to bring you back on at a later time. The show today is just pretty much a 30-minute show, but I will definitely ask for you to come back on and talk to the people again in regards to sharing your story, sharing your testimony, because I know trying to fit everything in 30 minutes is like impossible, right?
Right,
But I
right.
wanted to,
It's a lot that I can tell anyone. The only thing I can tell them, please get your mammograms.
that's
Please get
right.
your mammogram, not only to the females, males also.
That's
And you
right.
know, during the time right now, younger women are going through it. The lady I spoke to yesterday in the grocery store, she was 29.
You see what I'm saying? Wow. Wow.
29. So,
And so,
ladies, gentlemen, let's push it out there for our survivors and let's help the ones that's going through it. You know, it's a blessing that us as survivors, we are still here. And I
that's
hope you are doing all the right things just to try to survive. You
mhm.
know, I know you want to eat this and I know you want to do that or whatever you want to do. You can still do these things, but just try to
Moderation.
limit yourself with
That's it.
certain things that you eat.
In
Fruit,
moderation.
fruits, yeah. Some fruits are, some fruits have more sugar, you
Yeah.
know.
But it's the
So
natural sugar versus going to get some candy, It's
right,
the
right,
natural sugar. So the natural sugar is definitely more healthier for us
yeah.
versus us opening up, a Snicker or whatever the case may be. And I love Snickers.
I like them dumbbells, the bells, the
Uh-huh.
civil bell with the
Uh-huh.
arm.
Yes, 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 yes. So I just want to say, there are so many people that have gone through this disease, or currently going through it and things of that nature. What words of encouragement would you leave for the person that have already gone through it or the person that is currently going through it before we close out the show? What words of encouragement would you leave?
Don't give up. Don't give up.
Hmm.
Don't go in there with fear.
Hmm.
That's a silent killer also. Fear.
That's it.
Before you go to the doctor, every time before I pray all the time, but before you enter into that doctor office or step foot on that cement to go into the office, say a little prayer.
Hmm.
Just say a little prayer. Like my prayers, one of my scriptures, Psalm 91. I love it. That
Yes,
gets me through.
that's it.
So please, I just want y'all to know, don't go in there with no fear. Go in
Hmm.
there with a positive attitude,
That's
you
it.
know, and
That's
always make sure you have that support system with you. Tell somebody, let somebody know. Don't keep it from yourself. Don't
hmm
keep it from anybody because you never know, you might help someone or
that's
you are helping someone now at this point, you know. So no fear. That's my
that's
thing. No fear. And
thank you so
embrace
much.
yourself.
That's it. That's
Proud of
it.
you.
Thank you so much, Crescendo, for sharing a little bit about your story and a little bit about your testimony
Yes.
on today. Before we close out, can you share with the listening audience if someone wanted to follow you on social media or get in touch with you? How would they get in touch with you for speaking engagements and things of that nature?
Okay. They can DM me on Facebook, or they can also contact me by my phone number, 803-971-2675, and TikTok and Instagram. On Instagram is Miss Cree, and on TikTok is Kristle Richardson.
Okay, awesome. And repeat your number one more time for me, please.
803-971-2675.
Awesome. So, you guys, if there is anyone that is out there that's going through a cancer diagnosis, whether or not it's breast cancer, which that is what Crescendo is going through at this current time, whether or not it's multiple myeloma, that is the diagnosis that I am going through at this time. I just want to encourage you to let you know you're not alone. Even though you may feel alone, you're not alone. If you need to be a part of a support group, please feel free to reach out to Dr. Kristle Shanell. I do have a support group. Our support group is actually this afternoon at 6 o'clock p.m., and that is Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to be a part of the support group, we're there supporting each other in many, many ways. So I would love for you to be a part of that. Of course, you can DM me as well, inbox me on Facebook, all social media platforms. You can find me under The Kristle Shanell Show, or Kristle Shanell, or Dr. Kristle Shanell. Or you can call me directly. My number is 770-715-7949. Again, 770-715-7949. Also, if you would like to be a blessing to the ministry, you would like to make donations, please feel free to do that via Cash App at Dr. Kristle Shanell, or you can do that through Zelle at the telephone number provided, 770-715-7949. And you can put my name in as Crystal Jenkins. All right, you guys. So thank you so much. Please feel free to share the broadcast. You never know who needs to hear the story and testimony that was given today by Kristle Richardson. Someone needs to be motivated. Someone needs to know not to give up. So I would encourage you to please share the broadcast. Share, share, share. Sharing is caring. So do me a favor. And if you care for me, and if you love me, if you love Crescendo, if you care for Crescendo, we're asking you to share, share, share. Okay. A lot of times we have to get a little bit better at helping one another. A lot of times, some people are not always able to donate, meaning donating funds. But at the end of the day, it takes nothing to just share the show, share the broadcast, share the video, so that someone else that may need to be blessed can receive their blessing by just simply listening to the show. But a lot of times you find people don't even want to share nowadays, but it's something that we have to try to do a little bit better on in regards to sharing. Sharing is caring. Okay, so we're going to close out at this time. Thank you again, Crescendo, for coming on the Kristle Shanell Show. I will definitely have you back again, joining us to share more about your story and testimony. We purposely just did the show today for 30 minutes, and we will be back on at a later time, and she'll be able to share more at that time. So you guys have a great, great, great rest of your day, and thank you so much for joining the Kristle Shanell Show. God bless each and every one of you.
And thank you for having me on today. Thank you.
Absolutely, Queen. All righty, let's see here.